Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Tonight is the congested, headache, not feeling well show tonight. No COVID, thank God, from either one of us, but we both are a bit under the weather. But because we wanted to deliver our final Women's History Month show of 2022, we both trudge forward, and we are here tonight to make sure you have a great show. In honor of us closing out Women's History Month, we'll welcome two women who were born and raised on the Southside of Chicago, who are now making a global impact. Our first guest tonight will be author, therapist, and speaker, Miss Nya B, and she'll be here tonight to talk to us about mental health awareness. As you guys all know, there's a war going on right now in Eastern Europe. What do we tell our children about the war and all of the children we're seeing on TV that are displaced from their families, as well as we're going to talk about the slap that was seen all around the world. What would make someone want to get up and slap someone at a prestigious event? So she'll be here to help us through that. And then later on in the show, we'll meet the queen of Chicago egg rolls. Yes, we will. Miss JaVon A. Nichols will be here with us tonight. She is the creator and founder of Egg Rolls, etc. And when I say to you, baby, her collard green egg roll will make you want to slap somebody. Sitting in the co-host seat, I could never slap her, even though she's not feeling well this evening. Maybe a good little smack might make us both feel better. I don't know. Maybe somebody could smack the coal out of us. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Hello, darling. I'm not going to say how are you because I already know. I'm just praying we both get better.
I'm okay, and good evening to our studio audience. It's been a interesting day, and I'm just, we are very determined and very passionate about bringing good things to our studio audience. So, just bear with us tonight. We're not feeling the best, but we just want to provide you all the good tea that we can do. And speaking of tea, somebody's drinking tea. I'm drinking water.
Right. Oh my God. Well, speaking of not feeling well, it has been years since I've had anything like this to happen. And I think I'm at an age now where when I start feeling something, I'm like, oh my God, I think a cold is coming on. Oh, right. I wonder, and then again, you're saying, oh my God, is it COVID? So then you do the rapid COVID test at home. It's not COVID. But then, last night, I took some nighttime sleep medicine, and oh my God, I woke up this morning, mouth all dry and couldn't breathe and aching. And I was just like, oh God, but I am feeling a little bit better, and I'm going to continue to work on it as the night goes on,
Same here, because I had taken some cold medicine in the evening, but when I woke up in the morning and towards the day, I just had a very bad sinus headache. And it's interesting. I've been known to have sinus issues, but like you, I have not experienced a cold or any flu-like symptoms during the pandemic. Right. So I felt, you have to listen to your body, ladies and gents. Right. When you're not feeling well, you need to act quickly. So I tried to do that, but it's just, hopefully by week's end, I can be back to my normal perky K. Renee self.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much.
Tanja. Thank you.
Oh, we appreciate you, Tanja. We do. We're glad you are here. We had to do tonight's show because we do have just two incredible women who will be joining us. I just am so proud that these ladies are from the South Side of Chicago. One was born and raised in Chatham. We'll have to find out where the other one was. Yes. So this is going to be a really great conversation later on in the show. Well, K. Renee, it is so much for us to talk about. I'm going to start off with the health update since we are a health and wellness show. Yes. The BA2 is on track to become the dominant COVID variant here in Chicago and the United States. And so I've not done enough research on the BA2 variant, which I guess is the new variant that is sweeping Asia and some parts of Europe. to my understanding, is not as severe of symptoms or whatever the case may be. I'd be curious to know if maybe, again, I feel as if I just have a regular head cold versus, something worse than that. I was eating earlier just to make sure I had my taste buds. Of course, I tried the lovely collard green egg roll to make sure things tasted right to me. So, I don't know. It's just weird, but that is now the new variant. Citing a sharp drop in the demand for COVID-19 testing services, Illinois Health Department announced that they will stop operating sites in the state, and they will end by the end of the month. The end of the month is this coming Thursday. So there will not be any more mass testing sites, as well as I've noticed a lot of the individual testing sites, they have closed down as well too. So I don't know if it's a matter of you now go to your doctor and get tested, or whatever the case may be. I had to go pick up a prescription today from the clinic where I go, and they are still taking your temperature when you walk in the door.
That's a good thing. As
Right.
I said, when I wasn't feeling really well yesterday, thankfully we had the opportunity to get a free COVID test. When we had posted on our show where you can get the test, and I took it, and I was like, okay. So I as I said, it's just really interesting, and I know that there's going to be a fourth booster for people over 50. So now I know what you're gonna ask me, Chat. I'm gonna take it. Yes.
Honey, I've been having this debate with somebody earlier today. It seems as if we, the over 50, I'm gonna speak for myself, demographic, look like we the guinea pigs, but I guess we have the most health issues, underlining health issues. Wow, welcome to the 50s. I guess, it's like, oh my God. Because I was just going to say that Pfizer had asked the FDA to clear the fourth shot for people 65 and older, while Moderna requests another dose for adults to provide flexibility for the government to decide if it's really needed or not. So, I mean, I don't know. So you are going to get the extra shot.
If I need to after this, we've been pretty good not getting under the weather today. As I said, over Sunday night and yesterday, I was just like, we can't have this, because
Right.
at the end of the day, I have to take care of me. I don't have a cuddle buddy.
Yes.
So I have to take care of Kay Renee. That's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that as well, too. But then as I was talking to a friend of mine today that's in the medical field, common colds and the flu is something that everybody experiences, from children to adults. Even they talk about dog flu and dogs not, having kennel cough. Kennel cough. So I don't know if a cold and the flu is avoidable like that. I know, the healthiest people, it just so happens your immune system comes in contact with something that wrecks it. So, and again, like I said, you've always been very strong, never sick, things like that. So, I hope this passes very soon for you as well, too.
Me too.
Yes. Okay.
The same with you, Chad, because
Thank you, darling.
we got stuff to do. We ain't
Yes, we do. We have work to do.
That's right.
Yes. All right. So let's continue on. In total, the state of Illinois is seeing a positivity rate of 1.5%. On all COVID tests, a slight increase from a week ago. The state currently has 59 patients in ICU beds with COVID. This is the lowest number recorded during the pandemic, and hospitalizations have continued to decline, with now 461 patients currently in hospital beds after COVID diagnosis here in the state. So things seem to be on the downturn. Things seem to be, getting back to where they should be. But now I'm really concerned about this new variant that's coming around and how it will affect people,
Time will tell, Chad.
Yes. And then the government is taking the COVID money away. Yes, they're taking
they're applying it to, which I get, to help our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, because
right.
they're, I'm sure you've seen the images of what war does to a country.
Yes.
And it's really sad. So I'm sure they're trying to massage and put from one earmarked from one area to the next. So
Yes. You know, I was looking at a story earlier today on the news, and they've been talking about this for the last couple of days. The amount of fraud that happened during the pandemic,
yep,
people getting money that should not have gotten money,
that's
people that
right.
said that they had companies that employed, you know, hundreds of people, and just I am astonished. It like one person even bought like a $7 million home in Florida. Oh yeah. If you look at the news stories, it will blow your mind the things that people bought. I even was told that people went from state to state filling out unemployment requests in various states saying that they lost their jobs at various places. And never in a million years had I ever thought about being that deceitful and crazy about, you know, some money. I mean, I was grateful just to get something during the pandemic, and here you got people really bilking the government of millions of dollars. So that is just crazy, you know.
And that's unfortunate because there are people, especially those who have lost jobs and who cannot get the funding necessary to live their lives, to help their families. That's just a sad issue. Inflation continues to rise.
That's
You
right.
know, you cannot. I went shopping Sunday evening, and I only got 9 items, or it was $70. I said, "What the heck? What in
Oh
the world?"
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
Between gas and inflation, it is absolutely ridiculous out here. And
no.
what I've learned to do is, you know, I'm a master shopper to begin with. So I
Mhm,
strategically shop for everything I'm going to buy. Well,
mhm.
now that, you know, my friend is here, he and I download the same apps. Now here's the funniest thing: the grocery stores give him discounts on certain things, and they give me discounts on certain things. So
Okay.
now I go through his app, look at what it is at the register. I check out under his number, then I go through mine, check out under my number, and then, you know, I even have somebody else's that I can check to see what they get. Because otherwise, no, I would not be able to stay afloat. I mean, like today, a dozen eggs were $3. One dozen of eggs
Mhm.
for $3. We talking about regular dozen of eggs, but just so happened my friend had on his app 99 cents a dozen. So you better believe I done bought all the Easter eggs today. So look, they'll just have to
Wow.
stay right, right,
I know that's right.
yeah,
It's funny, and it's funny you mention that because I had purchased butter. And I get butter extra creamy, unsalted. Normally the butter is like $4. No, 7.19. I was like, Lord have
yes.
mercy, Jesus.
Yes, I mean it
I said
is
it's ridiculous.
ridiculous. Yes, how high these prices are in these grocery stores. I just cannot believe it. And even discount stores like Aldi's have had a price increase.
Yes, yes.
So just amazing. All right. Well, Candace asked a great question. She says, so no stimulus check for gas. Well, I thought they were going to do something to help people out with gas because, yep, I'm telling you, normally it would cost me $40 to fill up. A half a tank is $40 now.
Yep, I believe it.
It's crazy. It is ridiculous. Just these prices out here. They've got to do something. And I know we're trying to help our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine, but you got people right here in the United States that are
No.
suffering really bad. Rent has gone up. Rent has
Yes.
gone up in major cities. Utility costs have gone up. Everything
Mhm.
has gone up, and no, considerable pay raise. And then here's the funniest thing: everybody thinks they're paying that $16 an hour now is doing something because it's $1 more than what the proposed new minimum wage should be, and really it's nothing. But that's everybody starting everybody off at 16. Like, well, you know what? We're giving you a little bit more than minimum wage. So it just right, exactly.
Anyway.
Yes. All right.
Anyway.
Well, as you guys all know, this past Sunday at the 94th Annual Academy Awards, better known as the Oscars, the moment that casted a shadow on just everything that the event was all about was actor Will Smith getting up on stage, smacking comedian Chris Rock after Chris Rock made I want to say off-colored joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, and the fact that she has a shaved head now because she has alopecia, not a life-threatening condition, but something very serious. As you said yesterday, women's hair, their crown and glory. I get that. My hair is that same way. So it has now turned into a jackpot for Mr. Chris Rock. A day after Smith slapped Rock at the Oscars, ticket prices for Rock's Ego Death World Tour have skyrocketed. He'll kick off his tour April 2nd in Boston. And then they're reporting that the ticket prices rose from a minimum of $46 per ticket on March 18th to now $341 a ticket to go see Chris Rock.
And how much you want to bet he is going to put in his repertoire what happened on the 94th Academy Awards?
Come on now.
You know it's coming.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing. And here's the thing. There is nothing that Will can say. Nothing.
No, it's not. It's really not. And I can't wait till we talk to the therapist at 7:30 because, you know, I sent you the article that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the op-ed that he wrote. I've read a lot of other op-eds. A good friend of mine on Facebook wrote something yesterday. And just like we said here on this show last night, you've got to be kidding me that you have rose to this level of fame, success. You're an icon, and you would get up and do something that I expect somebody to do at a lounge out here on 79th Street or 87. You get what I'm saying? As a friend texted me last night, she said, I know what you really want to say, but you're trying to stay politically correct. It really was a hot mess. It really was, and it was a disgrace. Can you kind of recap what Kareem said in his statement?
Well, basically, he had said that he has set us back as a black race. Now, granted, he summarized what happened like everyone else has done, but he was just really honest and just poignant and saying, you know, Will should know better. Basically, what he was saying, he should know better. And because it's already the stereotype, and we as black people can't control our emotions, right? So, you know, and I don't know if I mentioned this last night, you know, and the more I thought about it, I do believe, to me, my opinion, I definitely would, Jada has some responsibility as well.
You know what? I had two people say that.
Why.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you why. I was married to a gentleman who really was, when he get mad, he get mad. And you remember this gentleman. And so whenever he would go off, I would like, babe, calm down. It's going to be okay. As a wife, she could have said, the moment he got up, she could have sat him down, because it's obvious he, as my late father would say, he in love, not love. Right. He in love. So that means he would do whatever he would to, you know, that the speech about protecting his family, I get that. Right. But as a wife, I would have definitely handled it differently. Would have said, Will, just please sit. He could even uttered what he said to Chris.
Right.
But to get up, the moment he got up, he lost his power.
Yep. I agree. I talked to three other people.
I really feel that Jada has some responsibility for that. Because I watched the video again last night, and I said the moment he got up, I watched her facial expression. It was like she was happy that he did that. That's not being happy. Right.
Yeah.
You know, so
we got some comments. Linda, Miss Lulu Farmer, that's my cousin. Hey, cousin. Will should have been escorted out of the Oscars. I agree as well too. She also said, as a wife of a black man, Please do not embarrass me. And that's kind of what I was going to say as well, too. Now, hey, Dawn, good to see you tonight as well, too. I believe Will was trying to prove he is worthy of her love. Here's the deal. The proving worthy of the love should have been when that entanglement happened and all that whole fiasco. You all talked about that entanglement like that's something people do every week. Like, oh, let's go have an entanglement. So proving your love has nothing to do with you now being on a global platform of being somebody that got up and slapped another celebrity. Now, keep in mind, other things have happened at the Oscars before, because you were going to talk about that last night and we didn't get to it, but go ahead.
No, and it's funny you mentioned, because I have a friend who's from Mexico, and I saw on his social media, he had a meme of Will slapping. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the translation was because it was in Spanish, but I said, he is truly trending. He'll be trending for a while. And this is not the type of publicity. They even say bad publicity is good publicity. No, this is not the type of publicity that you will want. Because as I said last night, and I know you said it as well, we as African Americans, we have to be better than anyone else. It's proven what happened with the Senate confirmations with Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. She just excelled to the nth degree.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
For Will to do this, and that's what Kareem said, it sets us back. Jim Carrey I saw the interview he had with Gayle King. He said that he was spineless and he plans to sue him for $200 million. I was like, oh my goodness.
So wait a minute, I'm curious to know, why would Jim Carrey be trying to sue him though?
I think I guess in support of Chris Rock, because the comedian community is a very small community.
Yes, it is.
So,
yes, it is.
Maybe as a show of good faith, I want to be there for him. I don't know, and maybe he was joking, but when I heard him say that, I was like, even Gail kind of looked at him like, "What the hell you want to sue him for $200 million?"
Right. I don't get that. I don't get that. This is between Will and Chris. And now it's between the Academy, because now last night we talked about the fact that they weren't necessarily going to take the Oscar, but then today they're saying that they could. But then keep in mind, there were some other actors that kind of acted a fool a while ago, and they didn't take their Oscars as well too. But I think
there were three.
Okay.
They've taken their Oscars. And do you know the three?
No, go ahead.
Bill Cosby.
Okay.
Roman Polanski, and there's another one I can't think of. They took they snatched their membership, so they can do it. So it will be interesting to see going forward, because as I said, now that he's won the Oscar, because again the votes had already been tabulated prior to the telecast, so we knew. I don't say he did know, but it was assumed that he was going to win Best Actor. But he doesn't. They can say, "Well, we don't want you to come back next year," because it's tradition for every winner for in the following year to present. And they may tell him, "No, we don't want you."
Well, here we go. Today there was an interview with the matriarch of the Smith family, Miss Carolyn Smith, and his sister Ellen Smith spoke about the Men in Black star from Philadelphia, where the ultra successful rapper turned actor was born and bred. His mother and sister of the Academy Award winner spoke up about the superstar's shocking public smack of comedian Chris Rock. Smith's mother said, like millions that was watching it on TV or in the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles, that she was very shocked that he did that. She said, that's the first time I've ever seen him go off. First time in his lifetime. I've never seen him do anything like that, is what his mother said. Will Smith's sister added that she is still talking to him on a couple of phone calls to discuss what the hell did he do. He is an internationally successful superstar, which he is. I've had conversations with him. They both are just in shock about what it is. So I'm wondering, i.e., will the PR spin on this be mental issues? You know what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden, mental health issues.
Well, I think it's plausible. I said this to you and to our viewing audience last night, that there's some repressed anger, and he's taking the anger that he would probably have about the entanglement with August Alsina on Chris Rock. Right. And also, you know, I think I shared this with you, I don't know if privately, but I may have talked about it briefly last night, that his father beat his mom. So, you know, when you are a little boy and you've been subject to abuse, it can come back in a different way. So yeah, I think that would be the most plausible thing for them to say. His PR team said, "Yep, he got some mental issues," and I know we're going to talk about that with our guest tonight.
Well, now Dawn brought up. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sweetie.
Dawn brought up a great point that red table has caused him some problems as well too. And absolutely, because here's the deal: when people do talk shows or like what we do, a lot of times we share our own personal stories, our thoughts, you know, things that we've gone through. This is what makes us relatable to our audience and to people in general. And so, you know, I've even had to explain to my other half, like, listen, baby, the things I talk about is nothing personal. It's just trying to be relatable to the audience. And the things that them women talk about on the red table, absolutely, because it's a lot of personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He may be just lost. He may be truly lost. And again, this is all going to boil down to a mental health issue. That's all I can say it's going to boil down to.
I agree. And I hope that he does get the help to deal with his anger issues, because clearly there's some serious anger issues that he has.
Right. Yes. Okay.
You know, I really felt bad for his mom and sister, because I'm sure his mom was like, what the what?
Right. Boy, you done went this far. You look, I thought about my own deceased mother and what she would have said. Boy, when I get home, I'm going to put my foot so far up or I'm going to beat the black off of you. Right. So that's why, you know, I just know he was raised like we were raised. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do certain things in settings like that. You know, and again, with the amount of money that he has, he could have paid Pookie to knock Chris Rock out in the parking lot. He could have caught. I mean, this could have went. So if Will and Jada would have got up and walked out, that would have been a better statement than you getting up hitting somebody. Or better yet, if Will and Jada would have sat there after the joke and did something like this, that would have been a better statement than you getting up physically slapping somebody, because it's violence. Violence is violence.
And we don't condone violence. I mean, he could have said the word, he could have uttered the issue that he said, you know, leave your wife's name out of my effing mouth. He could have done that. But the moment he got up on that stage, again, the moment he lost his own power.
Yep. All right, let's see what. Yes, K. Renee. He has repressed emotions stem from not being able to help his mother against the father. He saw his wife feeling some type of way. He just reacted, I believe, because of his childhood. Well, they said that things that happened to you in your childhood eventually come out in life over time. And you know, I guess I can agree to that, you know, to a particular point of even in my life. And, you know, I'm sure all of us can attest to something, but it's just, I don't get it. It's just crazy. Now, Shanita is steady saying that she believes it's the August Alsina and the red table talk. I think it's a combination of all of it. I think that's what it's a combination of all of it. And the sad part is that now he's going to have to just redeem himself from this, and we'll see what the therapist has to say to us tonight about this. You know what I'm saying? All right, darling. Anything else in the news we want to cover real quick before our next guest comes?
Well, I wanted to say, we didn't say this last night. This is not the first time this has happened in Oscars. In 1954, my father's namesake, James Mason, the actor, the English actor, not my daddy. But when Judy Garland won her award in 1954 for A Star Is Born, he smacked her. Nothing was done. So
you lied. What did he smack Judy Garland for?
I don't know. But Bruce Vilanich, folks who don't know Bruce is, he's an actor, he's a writer, he's been one of the premier writers of the Oscars. He wrote about that, and I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Right.
So that's not the first time this has happened.
Right. Oh my God.
It just only took almost 70 years, but yeah.
Right. But still, and then I think we as African Americans are more hurt that it was one of us more than anything.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Yeah.
Because
As
as Kareem said, he perpetuates the stereotype of Black people not being able to control their emotions. And
right.
that's not true. I
Yes.
agree,
Yes.
Tanja. The whole family needs help. I'm
Oh,
amen.
I agree. You know, white privilege shaking my head. I agree on that 100%. You know, even though his children are very eclectic, they're living their own life and their own style. But when you really look at it, they have lived nothing but that Hollywood life their entire life. And
That's
so,
right.
you know, I don't know. I just hate to see an American icon and legend, much like Bill Cosby and anybody else. It frightens me to continue to want to be in the entertainment field.
Well, you know, it's funny you mentioned Bill Cosby. I've been following the A&E series, Secrets of Playboy. And I'm going to tell you, we need to definitely talk about that. I mean, everybody loves Hugh Hefner, but not everybody loves Hugh Hefner.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh,
Oh,
absolutely. I can imagine. You know, and here's the deal. I bet you women were treated differently than men around Hugh Hefner.
of course they were.
Right. You know, so I don't know. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. This is the congested, allergies, headache, no COVID, you guys, none. We got an inhaler, we got clinics, we're drinking warm tea. We both are under the weather tonight, but we thought we would definitely do this show because we have two amazing guests and we're closing out Women's History Month. So just bear with us as we clear our throats, as we take the inhaler to try to breathe a little bit better. My co-host is the amazing Miss K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. And K. Renee and I both are fighting something. We don't know what it is, but we are fighting it, and we will be victorious over whatever this is. My cousin said, y'all drink that tea. Yes, we are drinking. I'm drinking ginger and honey. I'm drinking pure
And
ginger.
I have vanilla, chamomile, and pine tea. Pine needle.
That sounds good. That sounds excellent. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is our last show for the month of March. We'll be back next Monday night to kick off April. We have some amazing shows coming up during the month of April. We're going to talk about travel and how you can start booking your summer travel. We're also going to talk about gardening. We're going to talk about all things to get you ready for spring. So make sure you tune in next Monday night for the April month of the Real Chat Daddy Show. And boy, this time is going by so quickly. I just cannot believe how quick this year is going by.
I know that's right. You're right, Miss Tanja. Something in the air.
It's something in the air. It's something because I tell you guys, I am not a person that gets sick like that. I just never, you know what I'm saying? Like I was so like, Lord, I beat COVID. I got fully vaccinated. I traveled. I did everything. So yeah, I'm just not that person that gets sick like that. I always tell people if it's not my normal health issues, then I don't try to pick up anything extra than my normal health issues. So, you know, so absolutely. Well, tonight we're welcoming a first-time guest to the show. And, you know, I always get into people who are therapists, people who are able to help other people, because we're living in a time now where we just don't know. We don't know. We don't know what to say to our children. We don't know what to say to our loved ones. Everywhere you turn, from television to social media, we are seeing so much aggression, so much anger, so much bitterness. And I really do believe the world in which we live in is a beautiful world. I was just reading a breaking news story where an intoxicated man jumped the fence at Midway Airport and was trying to chase a plane. So just what makes people do these type of things, you know? And so tonight, to help us, and we're excited to welcome her. Let me read a little bit about it. Did you read her background? Wasn't it incredible?
I did. I mean, she's an author. She's a therapist. She's just a phenomenal woman.
And she's originally from the Southside of Chicago, a single mom. And look, and she's fabulous. Look, she's fabulous. I was looking at her on all our social media pages, but she's here tonight to help us better understand everything that is going on. Nya B has taken pride in providing counseling and education to intervene situations. Nya B. Hey, good evening.
Hi.
Oh,
Good. How are you tonight?
I
Miss
am well. How are you guys?
Good.
Well, we're trudging along, Miss Naya, trudging.
We both are
It's
under the
great to
weather
meet you both.
tonight, but we wanted to be here for both of our guests tonight. First of all, we want to say Happy Women's History Month. We want to say
Yes.
thank you so much for helping us to close out our Women's History Month. And after we get your story, find out who you are, we got so much to talk to you about tonight. You may have to look, you may have to send us a bill after this is over, okay? Because
Well, thank you.
we need therapy time. We really do. We need some serious therapy time. So please go right ahead, introduce yourself to the audience, and then let's get into the conversation.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Nya B. I am a licensed professional counselor. I'm a nationally certified counselor, an author, writer, speaker, influencer. I grew up on the Southside of Chicago. I've been practicing in the mental health field for 21 years. I've been in private practice now for 11 years. My specialty is sexual abuse and trauma, eating disorders, as well as anger management, and I treat a lot of clinical disorders as well. So I usually, work with people who have personality disorders. So a lot of my clients who come to me, they've had severe trauma. Sometimes they dissociate. A lot of times they deal with schizophrenia or most deep-seated rooted issues that we got to get to the bottom of. So
Wow.
Wow.
So let me ask you this. That is beautiful. What made you go into this field? Was there anything in particular that drew you to this field?
yeah, absolutely. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, I saw a lot of just arguing, fighting, cursing within my own household. It's so much so it seemed very normal. I mean, to me it was something that I grew up with and I was a part of that environment as well with a lot of my arguing, fighting, cursing. And when I went away to school, I started taking a psychology course and I was just driven by the information that was given in psychology. It was like, oh, well, it might be issues of poor coping. There might be substance abuse issues. There might be, and I don't think anybody in my community or better yet on my block truly understood the root behind some of their issues. And with my story and my background, my mother had a substance abuse issue. She was an alcoholic, and the majority of the people in my family struggled with some sort of substance. And it was just second nature to just kind of watch people drink, smoke, cuss, fight. I ended up getting pregnant at 16 and having my first child. And so the system of my family was repeating itself. My grandmother had my mother as a teen. My mother had me with my brother when she was a teen. And then I had a baby as a teen. So there was this generational curse that just kept going. And I was tired of it. There was something about me that was uncomfortable the entire time I believe I was born. So I
Right.
was just never comfortable with the dynamic and I started to have poor coping skills. I was promiscuous, I was extremely sexually active, and I fought a lot. So I had a lot of rage, a lot of anger, and I think my coping skill was probably sex. And so ultimately, I ended up having a child. And at that time, I was like, oh, my life needs to change. Something needs to change. So I ended up changing school districts because ultimately I was going to go to Calumet. And my mother was like, well, the rate you going, you going to kill somebody or somebody going to kill you going up in that school. So she shipped me to the suburbs and I ended up going to Thornwood. And ultimately, that's pretty much when I started to behave like I had some sense. I was around different people. I had different support system. It was hard. It was a challenge, to not bring that part of the hood with me. Because as of course, when you're young and you go to school and people start talking tough and you're used to just being tough, you decide you want to punk everybody who think they tough. And so I had to change that mentality. I
Yes.
had to grow up a whole lot. And so a lot of that baggage just kind of carried with me. And I needed to get out of the environment. So I went to my school counselor and I just word vomited on her. I kind of told her everything I was going through, everything I was experiencing. And, in my household, and I don't know about yours, but in my household, it was like whatever goes on in this house stays in this house. So you have to understand the ultimate betrayal, that I had to be a part of in order to go and tell an outsider, especially a white woman, what was going on within my black household.
Right.
And what I loved about it is that she didn't hotline it. She didn't, run to the authorities. She was just like, hey, what do you want to do? Because here are your options. This is what I think your strengths are, and this is what I think that you can do if you want to. So she gave me a mentor. And that mentor taught me everything that I knew about going to school, about going to college, how to complete a FAFSA, how to fill out a college application. I was the first person in my immediate family to graduate from high school and then go on to college. So no one had done it before me.
Right.
And
Wow.
so I had to just kind of connect to a lot of different people. And I did that at Thornwood, connecting with a lot of different people. And that took me to my journey to school. So when I chose to go to college, I had to choose a college that I could take my son to because I didn't want him to grow up in the same environment that I grew up in. His dad ended up going to prison and he was sentenced to 25 years. So I was like, well, I'm stuck with this kid by myself. What am I going to do? So talking to my counselor gave me options. And when I left to go to school, I chose a school that I could raise my son at. So I ended up going down to Southern Illinois and I ended up choosing a school that had daycare. I could work, and it was just a great adjustment. And in the process of all that, because I was going through so much turmoil at home, although she didn't like hotline the situation or turn me over to DCFS, they did get come together and teach me, how to become emancipated. So by the time I was 17, I was already emancipated as a minor, which I meant I didn't need my mom's permission or anybody's permission to go to school. So I enrolled. I got on the Greyhound bus, left Chicago with a black trash bag, and went to school. My mom was like, "Why is your room empty? Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm leaving." She's like, "Going where? Where are you going?" So I told her, and she's like, "How'd you do that?" So I had to. So she eventually found out that I was emancipated as a minor, and it really set her off because she ended up losing a lot of the benefits that she was getting. Like
Right.
she ended up losing, food stamps, things like that, because she was
Right.
getting it for both me and my son. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right.
so
Yep.
that kind of made us like this. So at
Right.
that point, I was completely an outsider. So I left Chicago, started taking psychology courses, and in that I started learning a lot more about not just the people around me, but myself. And I took an interest in that. So I graduated with my bachelor's. So I got a bachelor's in sociology. Went straight ahead, got my master's. Then we became nationally certified. Now, of course, that meant I couldn't go back home because now I'm the bad guy, or now I think I'm better than everybody. So it was just, and those weren't my words, but it was
Right.
just the words of a lot of different people around me. So I
Right.
had to protect that and protect the way I was trying to raise my kids. Because in that, he was learning things that I really didn't learn. At that point, he was progressing and surpassing me when it came to
Mhm.
his social skills.
Right.
So it was, oh, now my son, when I would take him home, he's being picked on because he's talking white or he's
Right.
acting white. So
Right.
now I got to protect him from
Yep.
those stereotypes. And I was like,
Yep.
you know what? I think I'm gonna stay here and just do what I need to do. I had some treatment myself because I realized I was full of rage and anger. I had poor coping skills, and I didn't know how to. I knew how to be aggressive, but I
Right.
didn't know how to be assertive. And
Yes.
I needed to learn how to have a balance because being passive was just not my thing. That wasn't gonna happen.
Right.
But I was aggressive, and I was like, okay, I need to tone it down. If I want to get a degree, I want to finish school, I want to teach him, then I need to get some help. So I started
Yeah.
getting counseling myself, and at that point, I was like, I think I think we need someone who's relatable, who can speak the language, who can build the trust to get my people to listen. So I decided I was going to be that person. And that has been my mission for the past 21 years. And I think that I've done pretty well with that. I think I've done pretty well with that. So,
Listen, listen. We are just meeting, but I love you so much, and I'm sure
oh,
Tina
thank
Renee feels
you.
the same way because as I'm listening to your story of the generational curses, listening to your story of removing yourself from a situation, wanting to do better, go back and people pick on you, talk about you. Here's the crazy piece. Somebody my age has gone through the same thing that you've gone through. I'm not going to speak on behalf of Kay Renee, but family, for me, desertment, not wanting, thinking you better than everybody, all that kind of stuff. Why is this something that continues to be a vicious cycle within, and I almost want to say our race, but I think it's in all races, and I think it has a lot to do with economics, maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that there are cultural differences amongst people. So there's mindset. So if you're living in poverty conditions, you develop a poverty mindset. And at some point, no matter if you elevate or not, that mindset carries. And it's the same way with wealth class, same way with middle class. I mean, we view the world very different. The meanings of things mean different. That's why you have to be around people who support the mindset, not the money, but the mindset. So the mindset of poverty, class usually is, hey, if I can't have it, you can't have it. And it's a survival technique because it's poverty. They don't know when they're going to get it again. So they preserve it and hold on to it like it's their last. And when that happens, if you leave, and you have to think, with the poverty mindset comes, there's this no snitching rule. You can't tell what's going on. You can't even process or understand what's going on. You're not sad. You just need a whooping or a nap. You just need to go pray. You're okay. Just go get a drink. Because there's a lot of avoidance. We don't have time to deal with that right now because we have bills to pay. We have to get to work. We need sleep because those are the primary concerns of poverty. So then when you have wealth class, you're not so much as concerned about poverty as you are making sure you save, making sure you get from point A to point B. So you're not in survival. So now you can think about things like, how does it make someone feel? Or how would it look if I did this? Or so now your thinking has elevated to a different level. So then if you go on to wealth class, so now you have assets. You're not really thinking about liabilities. Your mindset is, how do I multiply this wealth? How do I keep the generations going so that we can have wealth within our name, and we can have class, and we can have this, and we can have that? So that it's about mentality. So if you don't elevate the mind and start venturing out, doing different things, going different places, that includes traveling, meeting new people. If I did not leave the area I was in just to even go to Thornwood, I would still represent that mindset. But just leaving and going to Thornwood, because now I'm with a different population. I'm in homes with my friends. I'm like, oh, y'all got refrigerators with ice makers. That is so cool, So I'm
Right,
like,
right, yes, yeah.
the way they solve problems is different. Now, some people probably were more passive, meaning, hey, we don't want to start conflict. We just want to get through the day. And here I am with what you say. Why you look like that? What's your prop? So I had to learn the balance because while I didn't want to be passive, I didn't want to be intimidating either.
Right.
So even in that, I had to learn how to address problems and handle conflict in a very different way than I was. So if you don't leave, you're going to represent whatever it was you were born with. And that's just the way it goes. You have to leave in order to learn something different and be something different. I don't care if it's just for 30 days.
I'm gonna sip tea. K Renee, jump in there because I'm gonna sip tea. Right. She was said a mouthful. Hallelujah. Yes.
Yes, she has. Nya, we were talking about earlier before you came on about the world events, the war, and also the slap that hurt around the world. How do we teach our children that is not normal behavior? Because Art and I, we talk about his children who are a little bit different. And what do we, and I'm being politically correct when I say it, a little bit different.
Right, right.
How do we teach our children a better way to communicate? Because I think that's what it all boils down to. How can we communicate better so we can get our point across where we can minimize the conflict? Because now the reality is of what's happened around the slap around the world, there's still conflict. Even though from a publicity standpoint, we'll apologize, Chris apologized, but you and I both know, and Chat Daddy does, there's some underlying issues underneath. So, kind of talk about that.
I think teaching children begins with modeling, because when they're born, their brains are sponges. They only really have their motor skills, their emotional development, their amygdala. So they learn a lot through memory. And I know sometimes if you're not educated on child development, you think that because they're mimicking you or because they have mannerisms like you, that they just know. They're not, they don't just know, they're remembering, they're modeling. And if you want children to handle conflict in a way that gets both parties' needs met, then you have to start, number one, get rid of the baby talk and start using real words. You have to start communicating and saying, I feel, so they can separate and recognize that emotions are okay to have, but also recognize that they're temporary. So before you can even teach them how to handle them, teach them what they are.
Right.
A lot of times children are told that they're too young to feel some kind of way, or their feelings are not, they're discounted. But when they're born, they're all feeling. That's how they communicate. It's through feeling. They're hungry, they cry, they're upset, they grunt, they moan until they are using their words. So I think in order to teach children, for one, how to cope, you got to let them know you are going to be angry, you are going to feel sad, you are going to feel scared. I get with a lot of kids for the first time in session, and they don't know that they have many emotions, that their body is filled with many emotions. I say, tell me your core emotions. What are your top emotions? Mad, angry, and sad. And I'm like, you do know mad and angry are in the same family. So I have
Right.
to teach them joy, surprised, excited, fearful, and what it feels like in the body, because they don't know, especially if it's been pushed away, or if someone's told them, you don't feel that, go have a seat. If they say, hey, every time so and so comes over, my stomach starts hurting, that's fear, that's nerves, that's anxiety. Let's talk about that. Not, oh, go in there and lay down. You just need a nap. Go get some ginger ale and some saltine crackers. You'll be all right. Let's explore
Right.
why your stomach bubbling up every time this person comes around. Let's
Right.
talk about it. What's happening? When I get nervous or when I feel afraid, my stomach starts rumbling too, or my heart starts to beat really fast, or my hands get shaky. Are you going through that? Are you experiencing that? Okay, when you experience that, this is what I want you to do. Come tell me, number one. Number two, let's figure out something that's going to make you feel safe and comfortable. What makes you feel safe? And then you go and you explore those things with your kids. But when they come to you and they express to you and you're telling them you don't feel that way, you're too young to feel that way, or you're, lying, then they don't own their emotions.
Right.
So what they start to do as they get older is they separate themselves from the emotions and develop what's called defense mechanisms. So defense
Mhm.
mechanisms are what people use to navigate themselves through a world that doesn't make them feel safe to feel, if that makes sense.
No,
Mm-hmm.
that makes perfect
So
sense.
what we see
Mm-hmm.
going on right now in the media, and mainly with the smack across the world, is at some point Will has been functioning in this world that has never made him feel safe to feel. So much
Interesting.
so that the feeling dealt with him.
Hmm.
In some form or fashion, you have to understand your emotions are like little people. You have to give them a voice. You have to, or else they're going to speak for you.
Right.
So when you're walking around acting like nothing matters, nothing bothers you, you just get up and go and you become mechanical and you just work and work and work. And what people don't realize is that working is, overworking is a form of avoidance. So when you are constantly working and you're not actually sitting still, you're trying not to deal. So much so that when you are forced to deal or when you have to deal, it looks explosive. I mean, it was very obvious that not only was his reaction delayed, but it was displaced because that was not how you truly wanted to handle that. And maybe your aura, your true self, maybe wouldn't have handled that way. But because in that moment you have suppressed so much, ignored so much, you're like, let me calmly walk up here and just smack this man in the face because I'm tired. And it
You know,
came out at the worst possible time,
right.
and it sent the wrong message because now of all the parents that tells their children, hey, you don't hit people when they say things. You can ignore, you can walk away, you can go punch a pillow, you can. So now they've got the confirmation. Oh well, somebody say something I don't like, I can just go smack them. I can just go punch them. And you hear this a lot when with parents who tell their kids like, hey, if so and so does this, hit them, smack them. We show them when we're spanking them.
Right.
You make us mad, we about to whoop you. And matter of fact, we're gonna tell you stop 30 times before we actually get up and spank you, because now we're spanking you out of anger. Whereas
Right.
if we'd have got up the first time and at least separated you from whatever it was that was distraction, then we could have handled it calmly without anger. It could just be one instruction. Hey, I said don't touch that. First time you
Mm-hmm.
touch it, let me get up and remove whatever this is that you keep touching because I already said it. But no,
Right.
because people want to keep doing what they want to do. Stop, stop, stop. After you say stop 30 times, now your anger is dealing with the situation. So now
Mm-hmm.
you're whooping this child out of anger.
Huh.
So what the child is learning is that when I'm angry, I'm supposed to hit. So now they 2, 3 hitting at daycare because what kids know what they're born with jealousy. They're born with, emotions of hungry, tired, sad, angry. So when they see something that they want and they can't get it, they'll snatch it or they'll take it or they're because that's what they have. Those are the
Mhm.
skills that they're born with. So you have to teach by modeling and allow them to feel so that they can understand that nothing's wrong with you if you're sad. This
Right.
is the whole season of unbothered. I say this generation is so unbothered, or that don't bother me. I don't care. That's the problem right there because the more you say you don't care, the more your body's going to tell you that you do. And then
Exactly.
when it really starts to overflow and you feel a loss of control, you're going to do what Will did.
You know what? I am so glad you said that about this current generation because I feel the same way too. This current generation can be told something and they be like, okay, no big deal. No, where I came from the generation of when you were told something, you either heeded to that or you know what I'm saying? You had to figure it out. So yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up because yeah, just I don't know, just crazy. What else, K Renee, you got?
You know, one, I'm just so proud of you
Oh,
because you made some lemonade out of some serious sour lemons and you broke the generational curse so your son will have a beautiful legacy. I always ask this question of my guests, so I'm going to ask you as we close out women's not history, women's her story, because we all have a story. Who continues to inspire you to be the best Nya B this universe has ever seen?
my clients, the women on my caseload, the women that come to
Right?
me for therapy, man, they inspire me so much. I hear so many stories. I mean, I've been doing this for so long, and I don't think I've heard one story that was the same. I don't think I've heard one story that, these women, they come to me, they do the work. Therapy
Mm,
takes place. I tell them all the time, we can sit here in session all day and I can give you skill after skill, but the real work takes place when I'm not in front of you, when you're actually using the skills, applying the skills, and just to watch them get better, to watch them finally leave an abusive relationship, to watch them finally stop caring about what people think, to watch them just blossom and be women that they never thought they could be. I'm like, this is what it's all for. Like, this is what, so I'm not going to stop being transparent. I'm not going to stop telling my truth. I'm not going to stop sharing because there are people who are listening and they're using those skills to get through the most difficult situations in their lives. Like, I am motivated by the people that I know. I'm motivated by people I can sit down and touch and talk to on a regular basis because those are the people who I can see that are making things happen.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
wow.
Oh my God. Incredible. Incredible. What's next for you?
Wow. So I am doing workshops. I'm going to get back into speaking, my speaking engagements now. And so I have a workshop titled Get Out of Your Way, 5 Self-Sabotaging Behaviors to Let Go. And it's just a tool that I developed. I created a mental health assessment to teach a lot of people how to deal with their underlying issues versus the diagnosis. Because a lot of times, if you go to the clinician, you're going to get a diagnosis because that's just how, that's how the insurance company, that's how they get paid. So in order for clinicians to really treat mental health, instead of treating the symptoms, I created an assessment that helps people identify the underlying issues that contributed to the mental illness or the symptoms. So that way you can decrease, the likeliness of developing a long-term mental illness in the future. So I'm going to get started with that workshop in May. I'm finishing up my fourth book because I did 94th and Racine, The Roots of Me, The Growth of Me. And so now I'm working on the evolution of me. So pretty much 94th and Racine is a 3-part series that tells the story very more detailed than what I just gave you guys, but it tells the story of my journey from ages 6 all the way up until, oh Lord. So I'm 41 now. So I think I'm trying to
You
figure
are
out when I'm going
what?
to stop.
Wait a minute. You are what?
41.
Ooh,
Yes.
you look good.
41.
Look, you
Right.
45, baby. Right.
You know the saying, Art, black truly don't crack.
Oh my God, you
Look,
look
and
amazing.
my son, I'm so proud of him. He'll be 26 this year, and he has his master's in mass media. He produces documentaries and films. His film is going to be airing in Normal, Illinois next week. So I'm going to go and drive down and see his film on the big screen. I'm so
Excellent.
proud of him. So he's the first male in my family to finish high school and go on to college. So I am really excited about him. Really excited about him. So we broke all type of generational curses over
Yes,
here.
you
So as
have.
I finish the evolution of me, I'm trying to figure out what year I want to stop at because I had so many stories. Like as I got older, I had to learn a different thing, which was how to love, and so that's a whole nother book. Because we're I wasn't taught how to definitely love a person. I was taught how to use men, but not necessarily love them. So I had to write about that journey and how I became more relationship focused and less. I'm gonna go ahead and play this man and leave him alone focused. So
Oh, I love it. I
finishing
do.
that book. I am finishing that book currently. So those are the things that I'm working on. Still have the practice. Um, Getting ready to get back out here with these speaking engagements and finishing that book. That's what I do all day. Just
Beautiful.
write.
How can we find you, follow you, and continue to be a part of what you're doing? And then listen, you have an open invite to come back to see us at any time.
Oh, absolutely. Just say the word. Just say the
Okay,
word.
very good.
You guys can find me on Instagram at author_Nya_B. You can find me on Facebook under Nya B. And then I also have a page, Tania Brown. You have to send a friend request there, but the other pages are definitely public, open. You can just, same with Twitter, author_Nya_B. But I'm not on Twitter that much, so I got like 5 followers or something on there. I don't know how to use Twitter just yet, but
Right.
and I'm on TikTok. I love comedy,
Yes.
so I definitely have a TikTok page. And
Oh, okay.
yes, so Miss Tania on TikTok.
Okay.
I think I'm funny, so
All right. Very good. Very good. We love you, Kay Renee. What do you want to say as we close out this segment?
Again, Naya, continue to keep rising. I know I can speak for Art and our listening audience that we are proud of you. That you just continue to be the best Nya B this universe has ever seen. Proud of your son. Again, you broke the curse, and I'm hoping that you will talk about that as well in another workshop, how to break that generational curse for
Yes.
brothers. And
Yes.
then I see that happening for you. So, we will be in touch. I'll be following you.
Oh, well,
Yes.
thank you so much. This was such an honor. I really enjoyed you guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
We love you so very much. Nya B, you guys. Big round of applause.
Thank
You really
you.
look, you've been added to our list of favorite therapists around here.
Yeah,
You did an
that's
outstanding
right.
job.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I appreciate you. And anytime you guys need tips, tools, whatever, I am here. I'm
We
here.
got you. We got you. We love you. Thank you so much and have a beautiful night and
Bye,
continued
everybody.
success. All right. See you
Bye,
later.
Miss
Bye
Maya.
bye. Oh, she was adorable. I just
It
love her and
was.
smart. Very smart.
Absolutely. I mean,
So,
just really transparent to share her story. It was just nothing short of amazing. So just
yeah.
very proud of her.
I have a question, darling. Are you doing your show this coming Saturday?
We are. I'm hoping,
Okay.
depending upon how I feel.
Hold tight. I need to get up and run away. So I'm going to put a single shot on you. Talk about that and I'll be right back. Okay.
All right, sweetie.
All right.
Well,
Here we go.
you ready? Okay,
Yep.
guys. Yes, we're doing our show this coming Saturday with my dear podcasting sister, Miss Kim Coleman, Sister Girl Speaks, as April 2nd marks Autism Awareness Month.
Yep.
So we're hoping to bring some guests who have individuals who suffer from autism and how they're living their lives. So be sure to tune in this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 12 Eastern, and 9 Central for Candid Conversations with K and K. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel in addition to Facebook. So again, it's interesting how it's hard to believe that Women's History Month or Her Story Month is about to end on Thursday. And actually, the last 2 days, I'm going to honor 2 women in my life, yours truly and my mother. So there you go.
Oh, how beautiful. Thank you, darling. I needed to plug the power system back in. So I was like, Lord, please let have a good segue. Thank you. Thank you. They see we are a team. We are a team. We are. Oh, you okay? You all right? Okay, I know. We almost there. We are almost there. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. This is our last show for Women's History Month 2022. Kay Renee and I are both under the weather. No COVID, you guys. We just don't know what happened. April shower. No, we in March. So maybe March showers and cold brought us a cold. I don't know. But we're here tonight to celebrate beautiful women. Both of our guests tonight are from the Southside of Chicago. We just met Nya B, therapist, author. She's making a global impact of breaking generational curses. She's the first to graduate college from her family. Her son is the first male to graduate college from the family and just doing the doggone thing. And we're very, very proud of her. And she helped us to understand just a lot of different things. I want to have her back, Kay Renee, to talk about what happens when you lose your feelings. Like, I have no feelings anymore. I have no feelings anymore. And I hate that.
Really?
I hate the fact that I have no feelings.
No feelings. What do you mean? You mean you don't feel nothing? Really? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, we need to do that because you know, I've known you for a long time, and the one thing that I've loved about you is how your gratitude and how you help people who sometimes don't deserve it, but you do. And so that's really interesting that you mentioned that. So yeah, we need to have Miss. I think she's going to be like Dr. Janet, our resident.
Yeah, she'll be our resident therapist. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, our next guest this evening is an amazing young lady who she and I have been playing tag and back and forth. And I had the pleasure of finally meeting her and tasting her amazing product, despite the fact that I was worried about my palate, all of that. But when I tasted her product, I said, oh, baby, we got a winner here. Our next guest tonight has received quite a bit of fame. She is the queen of Chicago's favorite egg roll. JaVon, and on here it says Miss McCain. She's married to a wonderful gentleman, so we'll go with that. Is the creator and founder of Eggrolls, etc. She has an amazing story that she's going to share with us tonight. That is just, when she told me the story, I was sitting there like, what? How she just turned, you know, from being on the South Side of Chicago to now a really thriving and successful business, and a sister girl making egg rolls. Okay, Kay Renee, a sister girl making egg rolls. What do you think about that?
We can do anything we put our mind to. Now.
I believe that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the show the creator and founder of Eggrolls, etc., our girl JaVon. Yay!
Hi.
Hi, JaVon.
Thank you for having me.
Hey!
Virtual hugs.
Yes.
We need it.
So, JaVon, I need to ask the question first. Are you feeling okay? Everything good with you?
Yes, we are feeling Eggroll, etc. Everything.
Okay, very good. Because Kay Renee and I are trying to figure out what happened with us, but you know.
Yeah. No,
right.
Yeah, that was definitely something isolated. My husband's fine. I'm fine.
Okay, good.
I feel sad for you guys.
Oh, that's all right. We'll trudge through this. And Kay Renee and I are two people that never really get sick like this. So that's what's so interesting. Well, JaVon, we just got through talking to another young lady who's from the South Side of Chicago.
Yay, Nya. I'm a follow.
Yeah.
I just feel like I know her.
Yes. Wasn't she amazing? She really was. So we want to hear your backstory. We want to find out. I love hearing your backstory. Every time you tell it, it just brings so much joy to me to know the number of obstacles you've had in your way to now creating a wonderful company. So the platform is all yours. Go right ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, well, my name is JaVon, but a lot of people know me as Chow On. Chow means skillful and On means peace. And that's also the name of our adorable logo that my husband created and we trademarked. Her name is Chow On. Pretty much I have a background in what I call all things food. At 19, I was a nutritionist, clinical nutritionist. for Veteran Affairs Hospital as well as nursing homes. Became a restaurant manager fully for Red Lobster. Then a quality assurance manager with high profile restaurants, Knickerbocker Hotel, that sort of thing, as well as a caterer. And all of this by the exhausting age of 29. And then
Wow.
my mother suddenly passed away. I was an only child. I didn't have any children, a sibling, a husband, a cat, a dog, a frog, or anything, and had the opportunity to study abroad in Taiwan, Asia, on a dare that my friends gave me because they were concerned about my mental health after losing my mom all of a sudden. So went there, studied abroad, stayed in a hostel because I was 29 and a half, couldn't stay on the college campus. Literally, I was a chocolate chip and a chocolate chip cookie. Stood out in their country, and I tell you the experience that I had, literally to have someone love you who can't even speak your language, and all you have are smiles and hugs and comfort food. You know how they say like smiles are universal languages? Well, so
Right.
is comfort food and
Right.
hospitality. And I think that like what Miss Nya said, she said about, we need to go out of our different areas, but we have to definitely be open and try different things. And the best way to do it is to start with a different type of cuisine, as long as it's, allergy responsible and it won't make, you sick.
Right.
But literally, I was there, and the lady who kept the house, she had went into my room while I ventured out and walked around. And when I came back, the door was open, and my clothes were folded on the bed. And I had no idea, me being from the Southside of Chicago, someone's robbed me, took my big pants because
Right.
we're bigger than Asian
Right.
people are.
Yes.
No, she gestured for me to come to her, and she held me, and she heard me crying that night because I was scared. I was confused. I had no idea why I was there. But by the time I left, they named me JaVon. They gave me a new identity. They poured love into me and let me know that I will always be loved no matter where I go. And that's what I try to teach people in the form of some of my frozen food products. There's love. It's made with fresh ingredients, just like what Gert, the grandmother that's a feisty Capricorn redhead on that package, grew up
Yes.
in Marynook with grandparents from the South. We grew collard greens on the side of the house. It's not, a matter of it even being Black or soul food. It's comfort to be out there with your family, to dig in the earth with your family, to see your grandfather that was a Pullman porter. He was a Pullman porter. He's the reason why we are here, my family in Chicago. And I'm literally the last of a lineage. And I am a second generation college graduate, but I am a first generation legitimate entrepreneur. And it has been tough. It
I
has.
know.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Taiwan, of all places.
Yes.
When you told me the story about you just kind of did like a eeny, meeny, miny, mo type of situation. How did that all come about?
Faith. Literally, my friends at the time, they were concerned about my mental health. I mean, my mom, I don't have a best friend now. An adult person of mine who's an affiliate, she asked me, she said, so who's your best friend? My best friend is an ancestor, and that's my mother. I said, it can never be. My mother's the reason why I'm not a mother. Her standard, I'm so blessed. Her standard of motherhood, I could never match. I could never do what she did to instill with me, instill in me. And my husband, he understood it. You know what I'm saying? And then how we met and that sort of thing. But I want to pour into other people's children. That's a gift. And that's what my mother did. She was an educator.
Right.
She lived in Ghana. She was in the Peace Corps in the 70s. So I was raised different.
Wow. Right.
From Cabrini Green.
Right.
Cabrini Green to the South Side to Africa.
Wow. Okay, so while you were over in Taiwan, you learned how to use a wonton, which of course
no,
or how did it what made you even Eggroll?
Because I'm telling you, rumor has it, and I love Black people, but the Black people tell other Black people that JaVon went to Asia to learn how to roll egg rolls. No, I did not do that.
Right.
I ended up there. the whole like mantra and experience for my product is that it doesn't matter what's on the outside, it's what's inside that counts, just like an egg roll. Egg rolls are American. They were formed in the 1930s from a Chinese American restaurant. I used it because as a treat, my grandmother cooked every day, and I have a cookbook with her recipes.
Yes,
But she cooked
yes,
every
you
day.
do. It's a good cookbook.
Thank you. But from a treat on the south side of Chicago, we went right on Stony Island and got us some Chinese food from Hot Toy and all of them on payday. And you know how, then that's culturally how we did it. And so I just decided to, for my first product, to be creative with egg rolls. And as a tribute to my grandmother who grew those collard greens with my grandfather on the side of the house, it had to have been Gertz collard greens with smoked turkey. And that's the number one flavor that I have. I mean, we did the last taste of Chicago in 2019 and sold thousands.
Yes. 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 When I say to you, I was able to taste it earlier today. K. Renee, of course, right now does not have any taste buds, but we're going to have an egg roll party this weekend.
Egg roll party,
but when I say to you, even the sauce that you accompany with the egg rolls, how did you even come up with the sauce? Because that's not a typical sweet and sour sauce.
No, it's not. We do pair different sauces because we want to give the ultimate egg roll, etc. experience. And we make more than egg rolls. Again, it's the feeling what's inside. So when people try to say, oh, well, you're leading with greens, I don't eat greens, it's soul food. No, because we have mild buffalo chicken. There's nothing soulful about a buffalo chicken. And so we have, other flavors as well, including Aunt Kathy's peach cobbler egg roll. And my Aunt Kathy, she lives in Georgia. She's a true Southern peach. So, so that's a tribute to her. So when you eat those egg rolls like Gertz and you eat those Aunt Kathy egg rolls, and I also have a Judy's all chicken jambalaya, which was from my mom. My ancestors are back with me, and you are a part of the table. So I hope you
wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk about from idea to actually manufacturing to, you've been on Windy City Live, all the major media outlets, you've done Taste of Chicago. Let's talk about that journey being a Black woman in the field of business and manufacturing.
So, the community, that's when you start. And that's what I tell other entrepreneurs, because I'm also a business coach through a platform too, a community business accelerator. And I tell them, start off with your friends, families, and then the foods, because the foods are going to tell you the truth. They're not, you don't pay them, they're going to tell you the truth about your product. So that's where I started. And it was just something as a hobby. It was like, oh, this is a potluck thing. Oh, JaVon and her egg rolls. Here she comes. And when we did this event back in 2017, at the mosque on Stony Island, and literally sold 1,000 egg rolls in an hour and a half of just the collard greens, we knew that we had something special. And it's just, when something is your gift, I'm not saying like what you go to school for. People go to college and get a degree or a trade, like your real gift. Mine's is food, all things food, how it makes feel, the connection, the way that you could close your eyes and smell something can taste like something smell, and it's all connected and remind you your grandma, your sister, and it reminds you, it makes you feel so good and can nurture you from the inside out. So I have an obsession with food. I just love everything about it. And just my background being in nutrition, creating my own HACCP plans. I've done a lot of the hard work, pretty much kind of drove myself insane, like it's a form of insanity, because there's no manuscript to it. Now there's people, egg rolls are trending in their restaurants, and I can see their verbiage and tell that they've gone to my website and they've kind of like used some of my verbiage. I've inspired a lot of people.
That's a good way to say that. Yes.
Hey, chow on, because more relevant, that they put it out there, the more it helps me when I go and pitch, because I definitely believe that this is what I'm called to do. Not just in egg rolls, but it's a brand and it's a standard. It's deeper than an actual product. And what I am trying to do, no one would ever get it, because it's mine. And that's the same with other entrepreneurs. What is for you? That's truly meant What is
Right.
for you, do it. That's not a coincidence and a design. That's not a coincidence that you keep dreaming about this thing, that you're not even doing every day. That is your secret sauce, your gift that no one could ever take away from you, no matter how old you are, and no matter what your circumstance is. And I tell that to even college students when I talk to college students. I tell them, you're in college, but when what interests you, and a lot of them, they don't know. They're so hung up on the grades, but this isn't okay. You're majoring in English, but what really do you want to do? And I tell them, well, they're like, oh, well, I could bake a really good cookie, or social media. And I'm like, you can help your mom. If your mom or single mom need money or to help you, or you need money for your books, you better bake some cookies and bake some cakes. That's entrepreneurship. That's your secret sauce, and people are going to buy those cakes from you.
Right. No, that's great advice. That's excellent advice. Go right ahead, Kay Renee.
Well, from one only child to another, and just want to say, I know I even though I have not met your mom, because your mom is now spirit, I feel your mom is right here.
Thank
you.
Loving
you, just so proud of you. And I got a wonderful opportunity to meet you this past Sunday, because we got to talk about how you met your hubby.
Yeah.
See, you've talk about standards. Your mom set the standard. You've set the standard now, because if I get a cuddle buddy, JaVon, I'm gonna let him know. Look, we're gonna have to go to London the first date. Instead of Paris, I want to go to Monte Carlo. Excuse me. So talk to us about, because we, even though there's some single women out there, how did you meet the hubby, and how has he been instrumental in your business?
So coincidentally, my husband and I, we went to high school together, and he was an underclassman, and so he was a boy. I didn't pay him really any attention, because he was, it's like, oh, there's a nice young little boy, but when I graduated, and I graduated ahead of him, I went to Asia. I had to get Facebook. That was the first time. And to get Facebook, and he was my first friend request. And I was like, oh, it's the boy from, high school. Okay. So I didn't think anything of it. Came back. And I was on like old school dating platforms like the eHarmonies and all that. And the fools that they said were my match were not my match. They literally had me thinking there was something wrong with me,
Yes.
So that was no, and literally I just stopped. And it wasn't a black issue. I was dating because I speak fluent Mandarin. I speak fluent Spanish. I could date whomever I want. No, a fool is a fool. And that's what was up.
Right.
So I just stopped it. And one night I was dating myself, going to salsa dance at the Drake Hotel with a flower in my hair. It was luau themed. And I got a DM messenger from my now husband saying how beautiful I looked, and he was overseas working for his job, and he wanted to invite me on a Skype date. And I was like, okay. And the Skype date ended up being an 8-hour date, on and off. And in 14 days, he was like, you're incredible. He was like, I'm really loving, the experience we have. He said, here's my passport information. Because he said, I want you to come over and experience this with me. So gave me his passport information, because I wanted to show my friends and family that if something happened to me.
That's right.
He gave me
only child women, y'all are investigators. I love it. I do. Okay. Very good.
Yeah, he gave me his credit card information, said you book when you come, you book, leave when you, he showed me on the Skype where I would stay. We decided to wait until we were married to be intimate. Well, not to be intimate because we have intimacy, but before we, were sexual. Because it's a difference. Right. And we wanted to make sure that this was real. We both were hurt. We both were damaged, but something that I know helped us is that we were at least 85% healed by the time we got together. And that made it, because no one is completely, we live in Chicago, with other things that go on. But
That's
as
right.
far as like us, this and this, had to align fully. And I'm not just saying that. And literally, he said, well, I can't come and pick you up because I have to work. So I'm going to send a car for you. And it did. All taxis there are Mercedes. It was the whole guy with the hat and the sign that said my name on it. When you open the door, he was in there with roses. We walked the Tower Bridge, black man, like black man, from Southside, from Chatham. We walked the Tower Bridge. We saw the Queen's Jewels. We ate roasted chestnuts. And
Aww.
then he said, I hope that you'll be okay that I planned the second date. And I was like, of course, you can plan it. I don't live here. He said, you want to go to Paris tomorrow? It's only a couple of hours away. And I didn't know that I had an existing heart issue. I ended up walking the Eiffel Tower because it was a 3-hour wait for the elevator. And we stayed up there and ate chocolate croissants and talked. And we had to go through that, have that experience. Just fell in love, like pure love. And we still hold on to that, even coming back to Chicago. I was here 1 week and lovesick. I was, I miss you. I love you. The ugly, the ugly cry. And he was like, come on back. I was here a week. Come on back. Spent my birthday, flew me back, went to Belgium. It was just,
Girl,
wonderful.
I'm sick. I get that. I get that. When somebody loves you like that, that's incredible. And it's beautiful because when I got
Absolutely.
with my friend, I was sick as well too. And to know that never left my side in the hospital. When I came out of surgery, the nurse was like, look, can we please let him know you okay? I said, yes, so all of that. I do get that. I really, really do. What a beautiful love story. Oh my
We're
God.
just all connected. It's the same warm and fuzzies that I had after I lost my mom and I was in Taiwan and someone loved me. Same warm and fuzzies when I was dating these fools and went on a hiatus and then got the Facebook, from Asia, and he was there and he nursed me through an emergency open heart surgery and didn't have to. He wasn't my husband or my
Wow.
responsibility. And again, it all circles back to my product, and I'm not selling a product. I'm just telling you the love, their hand picked fresh ingredients. I want to feed, the community and nurture them because a lot of them are angry, and I've given free samples in the neighborhood to like a lot of people, like in Pullman and Roseland, and people who you think are like thugs with tattoos and stuff on them. And I say, hey, let me feed you. Let me just try this. Oh, it's a vegetable. I came in here for my Doritos. Nah, but it's free. If you don't like it, you can spit it in the garbage. And by the end of that bite, before they leave, thank you, ma'am. It reminded me of my granny. Thank you, ma'am. The thug.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's your psyche. It's also nourishment because a lot of them don't know. A lot of people don't have that and those values. I still can't crowd a piece for my husband.
Oh my God, you are so incredible. K. Renee, go in with your amazing question. And both of you women are only childs. Both of you ladies are just phenomenal to me. I'm moved to tears just hearing the story. Go ahead, K. Renee.
Well, besides your mom and besides that beautiful husband of yours, who inspires you to be the absolute best, JaVon?
My husband is actually my why. He's my why. He bring it, and I say this because I feel like your why should bring you to tears. You know what I'm saying? You should be so passionate, whatever that is, and that motivates me. And he works hard, and he's a really good person, and I believe, kind of jokingly, that his ancestors and my ancestors met in heaven and spoke to each other. They say, hey, my grandson is a good guy. They say, well, my granddaughter and my daughter, she's a good girl, and we from Chatham, and we gonna bless them, and we gonna watch them, and it's been some things that try to happen, but when it comes down to it, we both have a foundation. You have to get yourself right. So it's my husband. I do this for my husband. And I do it for, I guess, my heritage, like my family. And then representation, back to the whole Will Smith thing, I was an ambassador in Taiwan for Black Americans.
Mhm.
And it meant a lot. I'm not worth yet $350 million, but I'm not gonna act a fool. Period.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not. No way. Nothing is like, no, you're not gonna get me. And so representing the culture, representing, we're beautiful, we're talented. Um, our women are beautiful and talented. Our men are extraordinarily talented and gorgeous. And we're so creative and we think out the box, and we're not just fried chicken. I love fried chicken, but we're not just this. Don't box us. We can do so much. And
that's right.
In the food scene, my issue, or not even an issue, but it's an opportunity that I get because a lot of people are confused. Where you're not a restaurant owner, you're not a caterer, you're not a cook, and to be in frozen consumer packaged goods, go to your local freezer. It's no one like that. I do it with the
right.
It's none like it.
That's right.
And I'm out of Chicago, and how I've done that is
we need to get you on the History Channel, JaVon, because I'm a very history buff. And there's, the food that built America. I see that coming, and I'm prophesizing right now. They're gonna call you, Mr. JaVon, and say we want her on the show to talk about her stories. So, because when I think of you, I think of Clarence Birdseye, and I remember seeing that his journey. And it's similar. Yours is similar to that. So I'm putting it out there. History Channel, you're listening? Call Miss JaVon right now.
Yes.
I want this to outlive me. Literally. Like it has to. Your children. I need them to still chow on for the culture.
Yes. Yes. Very good. What's next for you, and where can we find your products before we get out of here?
Yes, so please follow me on Instagram, Eggroll, etc., EGGROLLSETC, as well as eggrollsetcetera.com, which will list most of the locations as we expand. It's over 40 locations, including restaurants. You can buy them frozen in a 4-pack. They include an amazing sauce. And we also are looking for other restaurants, local restaurants, to partner with wholesale so they can sell our product by the case, which are 24 case. So expanding, just expanding. I also have a YouTube channel. I love to cook. It's Chow on Eats, and that's on YouTube. And I also have a cookbook. It's Legacy Kitchen 1219, an inheritance of recipes from my family to yours. Go in there and make that fried green tomato gravy. You heard it. If you like fried
green tomato gravy.
That's in that cookbook.
I just made some fried green tomatoes recently, but I didn't know I could do a gravy. Lord have mercy.
And it's a perfect recipe for it. And if you thin it out, it's perfect for your shrimp and grits as well. So that's in there.
And I'm trying not to get hungry, Miss JaVon, because I haven't been eating because my taste buds is not there. But I may have to call you after the show saying, "Can you send this to me real quick?" Because
right. Oh my God!
I can do that. I can be a foodie correspondent and cook on the Chat Daddy Show and the K Renee
Show. Yes. I can see that happening.
Yes.
We need to have you, darling. We do. All right. Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for more information about this amazing young lady, go to Eggroll, etc. That's EGGROLLS, etc. etc.com. When I tell you guys, delicious. I can't wait to try the other ones. I had the collard green earlier today. I'm going to try the other flavors as well, too. I am a huge Eggroll fan. She is the kindest, sweetest person ever. And don't worry, K. Renee, I'm getting ready to help her move to the next level with some other things because she is incredible. She really, and the husband is amazing. Huh?
Oh, I love the two of you when I met you Sunday. And you both of you need to write a story together and how the love that you has been transformed to meet, to grow, because given what happened with Will Smith, that's not the love, honestly, that you want. You want love out of respect and and decency. So I just was so happy to meet you. And from one only child to another, Miss JaVon, if you ever need me, I'm a phone call away.
Yay.
Oh, I love you. I love you. This is such a kumbaya moment. It is. JaVon, we love you so very much. I'll be in touch with you tomorrow. We get ready to get out of here so we can rest. Thank you for helping us close out our Women's History Month 2022. You are truly a phenomenal woman. You are.
Without a doubt.
Get well so you can chat on.
Okay.
We will. We love you, darling. Have a beautiful night. Tell the hubby we said hey.
I will. I just fixed him his plate. He's
See, that's what I'm talking about. I love that.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Right. That's what I'm talking about. Fix that man his plate. That's right. Look, if nothing else, I fix that plate. Amen. Yes. Right. Amen. We love you, baby. Talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh my God, that was incredible. That was so good. Do you feel like doing your nugget, darling, or do we need to move on?
I have to, because this nugget is about still, we talking about will, we talking about a lot of stuff. And this nugget actually comes from a Whitney Young alum. She is, let me just give you something about Miss Katrina M. Adams. She's a professional tennis player. She's the first African-American female president, CEO of the United States. She was former, I should say, of the United States Tennis Association. She's an author of Own the Arena. And of course, she's a Whitney Young alumni. So I had to just throw that in.
She's a dolphin.
She's a dolphin. So
she's a dolphin.
Ms. Katrina says, you have to respect others so others can respect you. And that's Live Your Truth Tuesday hashtag. Remember, respect is earned, not given.
All right, now what you say, baby? Respect is earned, not given.
Not given. That's right.
Well, you sound like Miss Aretha Franklin when you say that. Give me some R-E-S-P-C-T. Find out what you to me.
I've always said, if I had the opportunity before she transitioned, I said, my mom and Miss Aretha, you saw pictures of my mom. They could have been sisters. They look. They were like. That's the reason why my dad married my mom, because he loved some Aretha. He says, so he got the next best thing, my mommy.
Oh, that's so sweet. It is. For more information about yours, hers truly, go to KarensNuggetsOfKnowledge.com, KarensNuggetsOfKnowledge.com. Great inspirational messages each and every day. She does an outstanding job. Kay Renee, I love you, my darling. I want you to feel better. I'll check on you again in the morning and make sure you coming around okay. Thank you guys so much. Watika, Miss November, Wamelda, Candace, Preston.
Love.
Yes, we love you guys so very much. We really do. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Kay Renee and I getting ready to sign off. Got my inhaler, got my clinics, got my hot tea. And I'm getting ready to get back in the bed and try to get rid of whatever this is that we are going through. We'll see you guys next Monday night. For more information about yours truly, please visit therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. That's where you can find out more information about me. We love you guys. We hope you've enjoyed this Women's History Month 2022. Be well, be safe, and be about love. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for your generation. Wait, we got some comments here. Let's see what they saying.
Okay.
Oh, Lordy, I'm getting back under this cover. I think the system is slowing down too. All right, here we go. Thank you guys. We appreciate you so very much. Oh, the system is slowing down. Oh, okay, there we go. We out of here. Good night, you guys. Bye.